Good morning, Blue Lulus. Wow, it's almost as if criminals go crim. Is anybody else just experiencing the most insane emotional roller coaster? I mean, I'm up, I'm down, I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. But honestly, the last 24 hours has truly made me believe that maybe, just maybe, the wheels might be falling off this bus. I am devastated and horrified that we have a very good idea of what happened to Kilmar Abrego Garcia and the results of that, but I am hopeful that whatever has befallen that sweet man will be the catalyst that will make everything just completely fall off the rails, because they are panicking and it is showing. Congressman Van Hollen from Maryland went to El Salvador yesterday, and that was incredibly brave. I am so happy that he decided to go down there and do that. That is what real leadership looks like. And he was told before he arrived that he was going to be able to be given a phone call with Kilmar Abrego Garcia, and they said, and then once he got down there, they were like, no, sorry, we can't do that. It depends on the embassy. So then he went to the embassy. And they're like, what are you doing to help facilitate this man's release? And the embassy said nothing. The administration hasn't said anything about us getting him out of there. And then Van Hollen asked the vice president of El Salvador why they won't just let him go. You wouldn't be smuggling him if you just gave him to me, so let him go. And they said, no, we can't do that because the Joker administration is paying us to keep him here. Now, I know that there's a term for that, for snatching people up off the street, transporting them across international boundaries in exchange for money. I know there's a word for that. Right at the tip of my tongue, it reminds me of traffic lights for some reason. But there are two judges that are not taking this kindly. One of them, Judge Bozeman, is attempting to hold the entire Joker administration criminally in contempt because of the fact that they were there in the first place. Because he's the judge that made the order that said that the Alien Enemies Act could not be used at this time, and he told them to turn those planes around. And they already admitted that they decided that they didn't have to because it was a verbal order, and that they believed that the president's whims superseded the verbal orders of a court. And so that judge is going to be holding them in contempt. And then there's another judge that's attempting to hold them in criminal contempt for obviously thwarting what the Supreme Court has already said, despite the fact that the Joker administration continues to maintain the idea that they actually won this case and that it was 9-0 in their favor, rewriting history and just saying it over and over again until his supporters actually believe it. It has worked very well for them in the past, but the cracks are showing. Chuck Grassley's town hall in Iowa was very much filled with people who were incredibly conservative appearing, that were like, what's going on? Bring this man back. This is against the Constitution and you can't do that. And a lot of people were like, wow, even in Iowa? Iowa's so conservative. But like, I have a lot of family that's from Iowa. My dad's from Iowa, and the people there are not, Iowa is not the South. Like, they're not the kind of Republicans that you would find in the South. A lot of them are very reasonable. They're like more fiscally conservative than socially conservative. And it was very heartwarming, at least for me, to see that they were willing to stand up in the most like Midwest sweet kind of way to Chuck Grassley. And I think that that will continue to happen the more and more that people are awakened by the fact that like we cannot just forego due process in our country. People understand the implications of that. Pam Bondi certainly should, but it has not prevented her from just going up on the podium and calling Kilmar Abrego Garcia a schmerist, even though it has been proven time and time again that he is not. And she knows, as the Attorney General of all of Gotham City, that that is defamation. So there's a video in my repost from Lauren P, and she has Pam Bondi's bar number on it, and the place where you can submit a complaint against her bar license to the Bar Association. Law license, rather. She might be untouchable now, but she won't be forever, and it's very important that people continue to make complaints against her license because she knows better, and that's not okay. You know what else isn't okay? The fact that RFK came out and said that all autistic people are basically worthless. He said that they'll never have a job, they'll never leave their parents' house, they'll never fall in love, they'll never go on a date, and therefore they're ruining all of their family's lives. Wow. I work in a hospital. I can almost guarantee you half of the providers in my hospital are on the autism spectrum, especially in the billing department, the law department, and anybody who's like engineering, architecture. Like, there are industries that are absolutely flooded with autistic people that are living very full and very exciting lives. Matter of fact, the richest man in the world has 14 kids by 5 baby mamas. Who knows how many businesses is hanging out in the Casablanca right now, and he also reportedly has autism, right? So put that in your pipe and smoke it. You've got worms in your brains and it shows. And you personally are trying to ruin all the rest of our lives. Speaking of dark Batman, he and the Joker are reportedly on the outs. They're like having a little bit of a tiff right now. And I continue to contend that that was over the tariffs. I truly believe that dark Batman went to the Joker and he said, flip these things around or else I will tell everybody everything about the birds in the sky and the machines. I will spill the tea and I will explain precisely how you managed to flip every single county and every single place that likes to swing on the swing set your direction. I will spill the tea if you don't change this right this first second. And all of a sudden they did, and wow, now they're fighting. Surprise. But I have always maintained that once that romance runs dry, it is going to be a big old giant mess, and it looks like it's getting closer every minute. And lastly, reportedly, the Vice Penguin is feeling very lonely. His wife said that in the Casablanca, everybody just isn't that nice to him, and he is starting to feel incredibly alone. Sucks to suck, Penguin. That's because all of the people around you are treating the people who you grew up around, the person that you used to be, like absolute trash. And deep down, you know that they would be talking about you if you hadn't changed your name so many times and put on so many bodysuits. And so once you come to that realization, you're more than welcome to just spill the tea as well. Let it come out and you can be who you actually are. That's always an option for you. I know it's tough. I know that it is so scary right now, but you are not crazy and you are not alone, okay? Look to the people who give you light, look to the people who give you hope, and as always, keep your eyes up, keep your feet on the ground, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ta!